What's going on, everybody? My name is Jacob Gettins, and welcome to the Outerzone, the official podcast of Formula Drift. We are here in a kind of rainy New Jersey. We're going to be talking to some of the best drivers right now in PROSPEC. So let's jump up onto the podium and have a little chat. Oh, you just wanted to clap, didn't you? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think we're good.
I can do the one-handed clap.
Can you?
Can you clap with one hand?
That's shockingly impressive. All right.
I got skills.
All right. Speaking of skills, as much as I enjoy having you up here, if you keep driving this way, we're going to have you up here every single round. Is that the goal? That's the plan?
That's the goal,
Man,
dude.
What? I mean, the way I've always looked at things is like, once is a mistake, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern, and you're getting real close to a pattern here.
Well, if you count LS Fest, the first event in the car, it was a week before.
So we're now at a pattern.
We're out. We're 3 rounds in the car. I've driven it 3 times at 3 events, 3 first place qualifiers.
Jesus.
That car is
okay. I mean, I think no matter if you put anybody, I think you put me in one of Odie's cars, I'm going to drive pretty well, but I'm not going to do what you just did out there. So what is it? Is it
I have more confidence, dude. It's my confidence. So the car, I fully trust the car. I'm fully committed with the car, and I have no worries.
That's it.
I'm not scared to throw it at the wall because I know it's going to dig out, and I can drive it from zone to zone as easy as I need to, as easy as I want to. The car is dialed. So me and the car combined is a great team.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Odie has his mastermind with these S chassis, and I'm just gonna stay right there in his little wing. But I keep saying the car's just good. The car's just good. The car's just good. But hey, us together, we're great.
What has he taught you outside of like the chassis setup and everything else that like has stuck with you? There's got to be some like dad life advice that's coming into play as well.
No, he honestly, if I need advice, we talked during the event, like closer to like the finals last round. He's asked me, hey, do you this is the reason why, on entry, you need to be a little bit further up. So like he'll throw some advice, but I mean he's honestly handed me the keys and just let me be me in it. So it's an honor that he trusts me that much, and it's
have
great.
you asked for any adjustments in the car, or are you just kind of letting it go, or like you're still playing feedback?
To be honest, the car has been in FD since 2012. It's been to every single track.
Almost as old as you are.
On the schedule. So there is a setup per track. And obviously each driver's different. So, I might like a little bit more wheel speed or a little less. But other than wheel speed and like front and rear tire pressure, I don't change much in the car. Last round, there was a few like dampening settings and whatnot, but honestly, what we it got grippier towards the end of the night, but it wasn't, the car, we don't change much. I don't ask for much out of the car. The car just delivers.
And I think that's so key to it too, that you're not playing around with it. You're not changing a bunch of settings to try and relearn the car. You're getting in, you're comfy.
We don't have that much practice time.
That's a good point. How many did you get in before qualifying? I think I counted 5 laps.
I think 5 laps.
Yeah, which like, I know we talked about it on the show previously. Like, people don't understand. Like,
no, I had 3 leads and 2 chases.
Are you trying to do primarily leads before qualifying, or is it just get in whatever practice you can?
No, leads. Yeah, the first out the box, I'm going lead only, and then once after today, after the first lap, I was like, okay, feeling good. I hit my spotter. I was like, yo, should I hop in the chase or just keep leading? He's like, let's lead again. Let's just fill it out one more time. Then we can go chase. So went back out there, chased somebody down, had fun with it, and went, did another lead, came back, and we broke an axle during practice on entry. So actually one of those runs was scratched. So threw it in, and as soon as I got on throttle to transition across the track out of one, just popped. Like the star inside the axle itself, like that the spline runs through the casing. Odie's like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Doing these things.
But no, the car's been great, dude. It's an honor to be able to part with the team and just to have a car that's reliable, and I'm just happy, very happy.
Battles tomorrow are going to be interesting because we've got two guys that are traditionally ranked pretty high that had errors. So Derek Madison and Rudy Hansen now in that bottom 8. I mean, I love it when stuff like that happens because now it means, I mean, for you, it means, okay, cool, there's a good chance. There's a decent chance you could go after the guy who won the last event in top 32.
Yep. Hey, both of our cars fresh. It'll be a battle.
Yeah, I think there's like, especially with the way that we're doing it now with the bottom 8, I think it really mixes up the bracket a lot and makes that, not that the show wasn't interesting before, but it really becomes an anything could happen.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Because, like, I mean, somebody that just had a car issue, but they've been dialed all day, they break during the first lap, then go back out, and then, hit a 90, 80s, high 80s, low 90s in their second run, but it doesn't matter. You're still going to be 24th or 25th at best. So
it's tough.
It's very tough. But, that person down there is about to work their way.
Yeah, and they got motivation too, right?
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And realistically, once you're kind of out of top 32, like anything goes. Like
100%. Once top 32 is done, it's like, all right, game on. Let's. Yeah, we were partying, but
I mean, it's not that. I feel like the top 32 battles in PROSPEC very much comes down to like who can just keep everything together and put down a solid run and just keep everything consistent. And then the top 16.
PROSPEC consistency.
100%. And I think what you guys are doing by keeping the setup similar and not screwing with it is so massive towards that.
I mean, we only have so much tire.
Yeah.
So we only have so much.
But I mean, here you're not going to eat through it.
I mean, it's
getting down.
Pretty, yeah. I mean, we'll have you can see the pattern after 2 laps,
but that's it.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, they cook them, but that's what we want. We want to get every single bit of the tire life, but I want to cross the line with the grip.
Are you doing any left foot braking through this, or are you kind of just on throttle sticking?
Yeah, a little bit. So on entry, I'll do my big flick, grab a little handbrake, and as soon as I get on it, if I need to, I don't quite remember if I did left foot on the outside zone 1. But outside zone 3 definitely drag a little bit. Definitely, once I got up on the wall, I was like, okay, I'm deep enough. Let's slow the momentum, but not obviously not too much. It's not slowing down. It's just keeping that consistent angle. So just a little bit of left foot, not too much. It's more just straight throttle. Outside zone 2 is full throttle. Yeah, it's literally feathered. Find the grip on the 2 different track surfaces because you asphalt to concrete.
Are you doing like a bit of a lift at that point, or
just I find the grip in it. If I lift, it grips a lot more. So it's finding the grip, applying more where it needs, and it's all just trying to fill the track out. These cars, you got to dial the car. You got 5 laps to dial the car to the track.
Yeah.
So.
And like I think people look at a track like this and like, oh, it's really simple. It's like 2 turns. It's like, well. Yeah, but the amount of complexity that comes with that, where it's like, hey, you have to make 2 perfect turns. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And it's the commitment factor too.
It's red on the wall. Factor. Yeah, there's no runoff. There's no, it's not like Atlanta where you can dip a tire off here or there and it's okay. Yeah. I mean, we saw multiple guys bin it in the last year or so.
Yeah, we were. There's no runoff on the track. Outside zone 2 is once you're in it, like. You're deep, but I was like almost popping a wheelie because the tire was like right on the edge of the track. I was like, okay, I'm deep. Like I know I'm deep. But out of 3, we have it's like a dime size scratch from outside zone 3.
You just sign it. Just go up and be like,
put a sticker up and hide it.
Yeah, a little New Jersey, like the state of New Jersey. Get one of those stickers and put it on. You should do that for all of them.
Yeah. Put a Bucky sticker on.
I mean, I feel like you can only do that for Texas. I wish we could go back. Did you ever?
Bucky's lives.
It does now. I heard they're like up in Kentucky.
Everywhere. Bucky's
Dude,
the best.
Big Bucky's guy. What are you ordering at Bucky's? You go in, you got
100% getting the pulled, the shredded or whatever
brisket
pulled,
or pork.
Brisket with onions and pickles.
I am a roasted
and the what you call them
beaver nuggets.
No. They're in the bakery.
Roasted nuts.
No. It's, the breakfast thing. It's like a croissant thing. I forgot what it's called. It's got like a piece of sausage in it. And it's like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
so good, dude. I love those. I'll get like 3 of them, Jones.
I usually go to the beef jerky bar, if you will. They've got like a good cherry one. Get that, some roasted nuts, maybe a big Slurpee.
Cherry beef jerky?
Yeah, it's really good.
I haven't dabbled in beef jerky. I mean, I
hope you got a good dentist. That's the hard part, man. You're picking that stuff out of your teeth for weeks.
Yeah,
that's the downside with it. But yeah, we need Buc-ee's everywhere. Maybe that's the next sponsor. Make some calls. You would need to have an immaculate bathroom though. They pride themselves in how clean those bathrooms are.
They can just build me a bathroom.
There's the activation. Just the cleanest bathroom in FD. It's sponsored by Buc-ee's.
Come use it. Yep.
Yeah, free beaver nuggets, an attendant there to keep everything clean. These are the activations no one's talking about.
Hey, Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, if you're listening.
If you're listening, dude, I'll think about it.
There's a giant beaver at a desk right now, just sitting there, we're like, all right, maybe. Yeah. Mr. Hobson. That's wicked. Well, I mean, dude, keep crushing it. As much as I want to rotate through guys, I got to feel it, man. I'm going to see you up here a few times. And the deal we've worked out is whoever's winning PROSPEC goes home with a microphone, and that means your podcast is up next. So I've already been digging, man. I got little feelers out. I got, Odie and Simon are both keeping notes, keeping tabs. So we got some good questions cooking. So cool.
Get it.
All right, thanks again, dude. I'll see you soon.
You having me on. Yes, sir. Sounds good. Peace.
All right, I think we're recording. I don't know if you want to do the clap too. Everyone seems to like to. Yeah, it's a sync audio. All right, we're here with Mr. Illingworth.
Yes.
Not Illings. I'm terrible with names.
Throwing it out on the table.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad you got the corrections out of the way. So, absolutely. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good compared to last round. We were icy, back of the pack, trying to figure out grip levels. So we kind of stepped up our game a little bit. We came out here early, got some practice laps in, got to dial the car in ahead of time. Team felt good. I felt good. Car drove good. So we went home with, some pretty good, high hopes on our shoulders. And I think it paid off today.
No, that's good. How much practice did you get in before qualifying?
I'm notorious for getting no practice time. So we went out there and first practice, we had the big wing on. They don't like that for this round, so we lost that. Took the wing off, came back, ran into some other problems. So maybe I would say 4 laps,
Okay. That seems to be, I just asked Mr. Hobson as well. You got about the same. So that seems to be about the case. It gives people an idea of what it's like, what this is like. It's so different. You're
expected to perform, man, at the highest level just right off the bat. There's not like you go single run groups. It's tandem right from the beginning. Everyone's cars here are fast. It kind of really weeds out like pro-am to actually professional drifting. It's a big jump.
Yeah. And what series did you come out of to get into PROSPEC now?
So back home, I come from California. We did Drift League, Hot Pit. Back in the day, it was Top Drift.
Right.
So I've been in drifting. Actually, not very long now. I say this is our 6th year.
Okay.
Total. But I've been racing my whole life since I was probably 7 or 8 years old.
Right. It's always interesting to find out what people's backgrounds are, because we have, now a lot of young guys coming in where it's like all they know is sim racing.
Yeah. It's actually funny that you say that, because I come from an off-road background actually previously before this Lucas Oil off-road regional series, where that's where I know the Sorensens. So I got to watch both of them race and mod kart, and honestly kind of grow up and see what they're into now. So it's funny how we kind of navigate our way back to our friends that we drove with back in the day.
That's funny. Did you ever beat any of them in a race, or?
We were different classes. Okay. Yeah, we're different classes. We never actually got to drive with them, but obviously know of their dad and their rigs and their cars. They always have nice vehicles. So of course. Everyone knows who they are.
Yeah. No, they're definitely, the more and more I've learned about them, the more I'm like, oh, you guys are just like gigantic.
Yeah, everywhere. They're gigantic. They're a force to be reckoned with. The Sorensens are awesome people. So shout out to them.
Oh, great people. Yeah. Any time I've had conversations with them, it's always very welcoming. Come on to the pits. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So, you gotta love that. It's the camaraderie too of drifting. It's like it's a very different sport. Off road, you break something, people okay, good luck, man. They don't really want to help you out. Here, you break something, you put it on the Discord, right? People are in a rush to come and give you spare parts, or how can we give you a helping hand? And it's just a really cool sport for me. Drifting is honestly a lot more fun. So I think that's where I kind of excel. A lot of these guys are thrown into a competition setting versus me. It's competition, but what I come from was way more, I guess, serious, flag sports.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's like fun, but at the end of the day, you still got to make sponsors happy and all that, right? So
yeah,
it's a good mix of the two.
Yeah, I've talked to so many people that have crossed over from different sports and like, this is like the most relaxed and the most fun. And if I break something, I can go to a pit and ask somebody. I'm not embarrassed by that. And no one's yelling at me like, oh, you can't come in here. You can't look at this. Like open pits. It's such a different experience than so many other motorsports.
Absolutely.
So what do you think you've taken the most from off-road to bring into drifting in particular?
I would have to say, I guess the sliding part of things, right? Because I come from road course, so spec Corvette and stuff like that, where you're in grip, right? You're not drifting. So off-road, you get the mud, you get to slide around a little bit. There's jumps and kind of stuff like that that's thrown into the mix, right? But I think the sliding part of the off-road cars is really what intrigued me about drifting. Okay. So drifting kind of was a nice translation from kind of the mud, wet, slippery setups. Than like, I guess, me being a road course driver hopping into a sideways car. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. It's always interesting to understand that there's a lot of guys that'll pull from, like motocross and stuff like that. And like, it's kind of the same. You just can't, if you swing your butt end around, it's not
like Mad Mike Widdett, right? He came from, professional motocross and he set up his car like that too. You talked to him about car setup. He had his foot brake, 100% to front brakes, right? And his hand brakes all the way to the rear, just like a dirt bike. So it's all preference style. And like you said, where you come from.
So how do you feel about this track in particular?
This track, honestly, I like the fast tracks, bro. I like where I feel scared behind the wheel a little bit, you know. Right. So this is fun. We're still fourth gear out there the whole time, you know. Your wheel speed is geared a little lower for this track. Yeah. Actually, it's probably really good for tandem. I haven't had too many good tandems out there today. I've been crashing into everybody, but for lead runs, it's fun, it's sick. But I'm more of I guess I have to prefer like Road Atlanta style, like the fast,
Yeah, there's something about that track in general. You're just like standing at the top of the hill going like, oh, this is gigantic.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster. You're just like, okay, well, let's go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely think you'll enjoy, Utah then.
Utah, yeah. See, I've never been there, so we're excited for it.
Yeah, Utah's nuts. I mean, it's so fast. I feel like a broken record. I keep telling the guys, we just got to run it backwards. Yeah. Like, let's just enter in on that big turn and then slow it down from there. But yeah, I guess, with that in mind, is there any track that you either haven't driven at or want to go drive, maybe not even on the FD circuit?
Yeah. Honestly, the next two tracks, St. Louis and Utah, man, we haven't driven either of them, so it's going to be a fun learning experience. The cool thing about this track is that we did get a little practice time before coming out here, so I do think that contributed to us qualifying a little higher. Yeah. Usually qualifying isn't really a problem for me, but extra practice doesn't hurt you ever. Yeah. So I would like to get out to those rounds and be able to throw down some practice ahead of time, but who knows if that'll actually happen.
Do you prefer the qualifying aspect of it or the battling aspect of it?
Honestly, I like qualifying. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's cool to see kind of ahead of time where everyone stands, right? Yeah. So you can kind of really gauge their lead run, at least going into battle, where they qualified, right? Because sometimes you get the luck of the draw where, you go against someone who qualified really low and all of a sudden they're just gangster and they throw a killer run. It is what it is. But I like qualifying, honestly.
Yeah. It's so weird because it's like there's nowhere else to pick up or gain. You're like, okay, once I've made this move, it's not like I can make it up in the next run. I can't make it up in the next corner. It's like, nope, this is what it is. And I mean, we were talking earlier, but like we've got two guys that are, down in the bottom 8 right now that like traditionally, I mean, Rudy, that's a great example. Dude wins an event. Crazy. Now he's bottom 8. Totally crazy. That whole bracket is going to be insane.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy with drifting, right? Is it's a gamble, man. Half of it is luck too. You can have the best running car all day, and something might just happen to where it just wasn't your day. And Ben Hobson, he's a great example of being consistent out here. It's not easy, man. And throwing down consistent runs. His lead runs are just as good as his chase runs. Like that's what the kind of driving I like seeing. And that's what makes the sport fun. I would love to hopefully get to that level.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, all you guys out here, I mean, I always have to remind even the PROSPEC guys, like, look, there's only 30-something guys, let's even say 40 guys and girls out here that are doing this. Like, at the end of the day, you're right there with everyone else. That's less than 100 drivers in the world competing in this series.
Yeah, we're very grateful to be here with Formula Drift. We were talking to Cassidy this morning even about just how to make the team more professional and stuff like that, right? And
you could call
to make sure, we're doing everything the proper way, dotting our P's and Q's and making sure that the staff is happy with what we're doing too, right? Yeah. Another thing we wanted to do, just like getting tickets at these events, is we want to start giving away the extra tickets that we have, stuff like that. So just get some more fans in it because it's only going to help us drivers, right? The more eyes on us, the more, more options and ways you have available to get monetary support or, promote that through Instagram and all these great things like, TikTok, YouTube, all that.
What can you give me the quick like rundown on your car? What the setup's like?
Sure.
Parts,
sure.
stuff
So
like that?
this cool thing about this car, actually, I own a bunch of Nissans, but this car was my first drift car I ever built.
Okay.
First drift car I ever built. First car I ever bought. Drift car I ever bought. So I was a Subaru guy before this. Super weird.
Ooh.
Yeah, weird. All-wheel drive, right? But anyways, it's a LS3 in it. It's a 6.9. It's been stroked out a little bit from CBM. Supercharged with Magnuson. Weiss Fab. It's got ISR all rear arms, rock and feel suspension, all the cool, custom drift things you got to do to it. But besides that, like we love this car, but our next car is a 370 we've been building, and that's like our real our baby, our bread and butter. But the 350 has been good to us, man. So we stuck with this season, and just I guess trying to do the fine tuning stuff is what's hard, right? Is to try to get the suspension set up as good as these guys, again, like Ben, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just they're so fast, they're so fluid, the car doesn't like it's rolling over on itself. Like, how do we get to that level, right? So that's kind of the chase we've been in with the 350Z. But mechanically, it's been great with us, man.
Yeah, that's good. I think the keep it simple rule is so crucial. Like, there's no need to overcomplicate it. The more you add, the more that can go wrong, the more that can break, and
Totally.
That and the upside too, like sticking with a very similar chassis, moving into the next one, you can take everything you don't like about the current one. And I know you're already in your head. You're like, here are the things we hate. I can't reach this. I can't get to this thing.
Exactly.
This thing's always breaking. Why did I build it this way? Now you're like, okay, cool.
Kind of reverse engineer it a little bit, make it better than the last one, But like I said, this car, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great car. I love the thing we're dialing it in. But we've been building, I have another 370 back home too. It's our practice car. It's sequential. It's on nitrous, and we run the hot pit auto still back there. So it's Pro-Am series. Things are rock shit. It's totally, it's fun. It makes low power, but I feel like the wheelbase being a little shorter, I'm a little bit more comfortable in it. It just seems I'm a little snappier in it. It feels like I can throw more angle. Maybe the power has something to contribute to that. I'm not entirely sure, but we won't figure that out until we build the 370, right? So,
how do you liking the nitrous?
Nitrous? Nitrous is cool until it runs out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We were just talking about, right, not having a bunch of things that is a pain in the ass, but the nitrous can be a little finicky.
A little bit. I mean, things like to freeze.
It's adding one more thing to the equation, right? That you have to have full and ready, but it's totally fun. We love it, and you put on a show for people, right? You go by, everyone looking at you, purge it, and exactly. So it's part of the show. I feel like at this point,
it's a conversation I have with so many guys. Let's put nitrous on it. It's like, I don't know. What about this? Let's put nitrous on it. Like everybody's doing it. All your friends
once
are
you
doing
do it, there's no going back to.
You're stuck. Dude, I did it once on like an old protege back years and years ago. I was like 20, and immediately after that, I'm like, hey, every car I own now is gonna have nitrous.
It's great. Yeah, the 370 seems to love it too. First motor, knock on wood, it's still going.
Those VQs can take it. It's weird.
She's strong, dude, and it's actually I think it makes like more torque than horsepower with the nitrous. It makes like 410, foot-pounds of torque, maybe 400 horsepower. So it's pretty spicy.
Yeah, there's something about just liquid horsepower. It's great.
Yeah,
absolutely. Cool. Anything else you want to cover? Any shout outs, anything like that?
Yeah, a shout out to, Sac City for, making sure the Nissan stays on the podium. That's the main thing. He's the one providing us with all of our spare parts. It's a part scrapping place that basically has every Nissan you can think of, spare parts. You get motors, transmissions. Basically any OEM stuff you need, that's the guy to go to. So it's a great sponsor to have on board, especially being a Nissan guy.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I know there's probably some people fishing for some brake calipers and things like that. Yeah,
and that's the way to go, man. Quick shipping, you know what I mean? Great customer support. So it's just like we couldn't be happier with the title sponsor that came with us this year.
Perfect. Just keep running Nissans.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Sick. Well, thanks, man.
Hey,
excited to see what your battles look like tomorrow.
Me too, man. Let's get it. Hopefully, we only crash into them a little bit.
I'll take it. All right, Dmitry Brudsky.
Yeah,
buddy, you were bugging me in Atlanta real bad about getting on here. So
no, I just said if you want a podcast, hit me up. I'm open. I'm available.
That's good.
If you're not gonna hit me up, I said I'm gonna go ahead and win New Jersey. And you're gonna have to have a podcast with me.
Well, hey,
so here I am making baby steps towards that.
Exactly. You did phenomenal in qualifying. So obviously that's why we're here. How are you enjoying the new car?
It's hard to say I'm enjoying after Atlanta because we literally tested the car there. Yeah. Like somebody else said before, don't go to an event with a brand new car and expect
and here we are.
Good results. So yeah, basically I knew after a couple of runs, I knew that I'm not going to go too far.
Yeah.
And I just used whatever we had. The car technically was unfinished, so we just didn't have time.
Yeah.
Ran out of time. You know how it is. The parts availability was always back ordered, so we had to use whatever we can. Not whatever we can, but like really worked hard to get all the parts together. Michael also did an amazing job. He's super busy, but he basically almost put my car, like prioritized that and got it enough to where I can pick it up. And it was driving. It was a little bit of combination of some parts together, the way the car like responded and drove. That was a little bit of new to me, like surprise. But we, jumped right into it. We fixed the issues, and hopefully we're gonna show the results this weekend.
It's looking pretty figured out right now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It was funny because I'm sitting in a brand new car.
Yeah.
And it looks almost identical to my old car.
Yeah.
The dash, the shifter, the dashboard, all the safety equipment and everything from OMP. The link is everywhere. And I'm feeling like I'm sitting in the old car, but the car doesn't drive exactly the same as the old car. So also I think because it's a super new car, like super stiff, and everything just transfers back to the driver, and the old car was a little more smushy. So all this extra, like when it wants to grip up, the car would kind of swallow that and allow me to drive smoother. That's why it was pretty smooth on my, previous years. Not the fastest, but it was consistent everywhere. Yeah. This thing is brand new, wise fab in the rear, the whole new suspension, bushings, and all that stuff. So the car is super solid, nothing wiggly here and there. So I feel every little bit of the pavement or traction that I get.
Yep.
And I'm still adapting to it. But
that's interesting. Yeah, I know a lot of guys have talked about that when Ryan Turk binned his car in Long Beach and then, came out in, I think it was either Atlanta or Orlando, I can't remember, and won it. And he's like,
he won New Jersey.
Was it New Jersey? Okay, cool. You got it. And he talked about it. He goes, this chassis doesn't move. It doesn't flex. The body panels don't slide. Like, there's so much to that, especially at this level. And it's interesting that you can feel that difference.
Yeah. At this level, when you want to be precise, you're driving under the microscope.
Yeah.
And you realize every little bit of mistake. At fun events, you can spin out and get back into drift. And everybody's like, it was sick, but not here. No. Like you pedal on the throttle, you get a little bit grip. The car, wants to grip up, and boom, it's seen there on the live streams and everything. So, even people looking down at PROSPEC level, relatively compared to Pro 1 and everything, it's still super high competition and drivers and the way the cars are built, just a little bit less power and smaller tires. But overall, it's really high level of competition.
Oh, it's crazy. It's just, and every year it keeps getting better and more competitive, and exactly. The judging gets harder, and you guys are getting faster.
It's not about judging, just kidding.
No. Hey,
it's the hardest job over here, I would say so.
Every time I'm up in that tower, it's the first thing I say. I'm like, I never want that job.
Nope.
There's only one person at the end of the weekend.
I don't know how they do a pretty decent job not being biased and stuff like that, to be honest, because it's hard. Like, I'm looking at my friend Brian Wadman go there, and I see his mistake, and I'm just like, I understand him. And then somebody else, who I maybe not my best friends, like, oh, you see that little e-brake, extra e-brake? So it's hard sometimes to be not biased, but I think they're doing a pretty good job at fair.
The ability of all those guys to be able to just see all the micro adjustments that I know, if you look back on your onboard, you're like, I don't even remember doing that. And then you see it I did grab the handbrake. Like, holy shit.
At this point, I remember my runs pretty good.
Yeah.
The first when I started, especially in FD, I kind of jumped pretty early from 1 year Pro EM, went back into Pro 2, and straight into Pro 2. Coming to the start line, and I would forget how to drive, even though at fun events, I'm super killing it, this and that. I come to the start line and I'm telling myself, all right, this is a shifter, this is e-brake. Keep your hand on the shifter right now while you're accelerating. And then grab the e-brake. Don't mix it up. You sit there at the start line, you just forget everything. And then you watch your runs when did that happen? When did that happen? Right now, all that nervousness kind of came down. Feel pretty confident, and I remember every little bit of what I did, where I did clutch kicks, where I grabbed the e-brake, then I got my tuner, Turbo Mike, shout out Turbo Mike out there, pull the logs, and I'll tell him, I did this, I did that. He's like, no, I had a little bubble. Then I'm like, yeah, check it out. And he pulls the logs, sure enough, that's what you did, that's what happened. All thanks to Link ECU and all the Link sensors and all the data that we can pull, so that's good, and actually helps me to analyze my run and improve on every single run that we do.
I think that's such an important part of drifting. Another thing that just doesn't get talked about before is taking a critical look at what you're doing, whether it's good or bad. And I think it's one of those things that we're going to lose the table here. That a lot of the guys coming up maybe don't do, where they just do a run it felt good on that. And it's they leave it at that.
I did give some tips to individual drivers here and there if I see them struggle. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For me, personally, I see a lot of people, even a lot of local guys that I'm last 2 years, that I expected better results from them. Or I felt all right, that's going to be a good competition for me. Then I see them blow the run, qualifying or something like that. they race off the start line and go too fast, and they either not get into the zone or overshoot the zone.
Okay.
For me, I don't race off the start line. I go like, smooth first, second, third, and like second half of my third gear is where I like accelerate. And I really like using my sensors to see where I'm on track. If I hold on, half a second longer and grab the e-brake, or it's time right now to grab the e-brake. And some people do Mungie. I did some Mungie, feint initiation earlier in the practice, and I could not guess it really well. I was still in the zone, but I just didn't like it, so I just went ahead and changed it to like a straight line approach.
Okay.
And actually, that's what judges were kind of saying the last couple of years. I didn't hear them saying this year how they want to see it. They said maximum 2 moves, obviously, but there was no privilege to do any feint. Just straight line, straight to angle is good. As long as you get to the outside zone.
You're not overcomplicating it by adding more movement.
Yes. So for me, it was that like not racing off the start line, but as you start rolling, then you go calculate where you at on track. Boom, get in the outside zone 1. And then another big problem that people, drivers do is like as soon as they feel the zone, they transition. And then they like beeline in the outside zone 2 or drag e-brake for too long. Yeah. The secret to this track, I would say, because I do have a lot of seat time with gamblers and all that stuff. Once you finish outside zone 1, kind of stay at angle and drive across the track.
Okay.
Drive across the track.
Yeah.
And then when you set your angle e-brake, you already drive that outside zone 2 way before it even started.
Oh, interesting.
So that makes it a lot better overall, lead chase and everything else better. So
I'm gonna go back and like watch your runs now and watch for that. But yeah, that's interesting that you're like continue on that zone a little bit longer.
I was telling other drivers, but I realized I wasn't doing that early in the practice. So the last few runs that I did, I'm like made myself to do that, and then I did that in qualifying where I finished the zone and outside zone 1, and then I drove across the track. Boom. And I was on throttle throughout outside zone 2. So I was kind of safe, to be honest, on my qualifying run. I didn't want to hit the rev limiter. So at some point when I would like start in outside zone 2, when I start approaching the concrete area, it's like, you're going up. So the car wanted to grip up, and I felt it before it did. So that's why like I shallowed out maybe by 6 inches and then went back into the zone.
Right.
That was a little bit of like maybe no X factor there. But overall, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I was conservative on my run. I didn't want to blow it, but still I did decent run.
Yeah, no, obviously it worked out pretty well. So, is there any different? Is there any? I mean, you don't have to give away all the secrets, but like, is there anything in particular that you need to do on this track when you're chasing? Because there's not a lot to it, but it is one of those tracks that like if you miss time at all, you're either hitting somebody, they're hitting you, or you're throwing it right in the grass.
I guess just hopefully the initiation from a lead car was good, where you can get in the pocket, transition on time. And the rest of it just adjusting, left foot braking, I guess, stay in the pocket. Or some guys are super fast where I can't even touch my brakes. I just have to be on throttle and stay there. So not really like secrets in chase. You adjust as you go. In the lead, what I see, and some people did that, once they enter outside zone 2 and they start laying on throttle. And as like I said, the track's going up, so you grip up. And if you don't know what's after that, you're going to go off track because you start accelerating so fast. And once you over the concrete, you're like, oh, you're flying off. You start lifting a little bit, adjusting, that's even worse, and send you into the dirt. So as you go in outside zone 2 and the car wants to grip up, you should know that as a driver with practice, hold yourself. Like keep that pace. Don't let the car accelerate, because then once it drops off, you want to fly off track. So there's a little bit. And even Sim kind of transfers that into the driving. Like you can't just on simulator. I'm not a good sim driver whatsoever. But my kid Jacob's doing pretty well, and actually in real life too. But anyways, if you try to, for me, stay on throttle full on sim, you just go off track or over rotate. So there's pedaling and left foot braking too. It's just same thing up there on track.
Good to know.
This track is not my favorite. I tend to do good here, but very technical and difficult because there's
no room for errors.
No room for errors, exactly. And it's not just flat figure eight. All these off cambers and a little camber gain, all that stuff.
Change of traction.
Crazy. Yeah, you literally like all the time working to stay in the zone or not to fly off.
And it is very rubbered in. Like
it's actually really nice on tire wear. So I was able to get 3 runs, no problem, in practice and everything. So no complaints there.
Nice. Well, I'm super happy we got to do this. I'm excited. I have a strong feeling we'll be able to get a full episode in. I got to start my research now and go from there. But thank you again, sir. Great job. We'll catch you soon.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. All right. I think we're good. All right. My French has not gotten any better since we've chatted last. I'm not even going to try any French for you. Dude, what is going on? You're crushing this.
Yeah, today I was really stressed, honestly. I didn't have my best practice run today. I was struggling, I don't know. I really was struggling, but I don't know how I came in my qualifying run and said, screw it, and just sent it fully, and it paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off.
And like, to clear, is this the same car from Atlanta?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we have the pro car.
Yeah.
We've been working really, really, really hard. My amazing team has been working every weekend on it. I really appreciate them. Thank you. A huge thank you to them.
Of course.
But it's a lot of work to build a car.
Yeah.
And we started to build the car pretty late. So unfortunately, it's not ready. It's going to be ready for sure for the next round.
Yep.
But for this round, we still have the my practice car, my pretty much stock C6 Corvette.
I honestly, I think at this point, I don't even want you to jump into a new car. I think you just stick with this. Like, hey, save the money, go on vacation, go to Disney. I don't know, but like, dude, there's something about the simplicity of that car it's just working.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. It's working really, really, really well. But I think that if I come with a fully built car, a quick change, a dog box, and I think I'm gonna really, really prove myself out there. Right now I have a stock car, stock transmission, stock differential, basically stock engine. I got the amazing nitrous outlet in there, and so we're making a bit more power, but still we're making, I think, 550 wheel, which is not a lot, compared to the people over here.
Do you have air conditioning in that thing still?
No, I wish though.
What about stereo? Are you like bumping music the whole time?
No, I wish I had one.
We should put it back in.
I definitely have to get one though.
I think so. I mean, if it's that stock at this point, let's just lean into it. Let's put in some music.
Why not?
Yeah. Even like we could put on just like an actual display. You could watch a movie, relax.
That's a really good idea.
I think so. You could just sit there and review all your runs beforehand, right? Just get the guys to send it as soon as your run's over, and then you can sit in the pits and watch it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was watching a couple. I watched your qualifying. I watched a couple practice runs. You're clutch kicking pretty hard out there right now.
This car is hard to drive. I still have as I said, original differential. Yeah. So I cannot adjust the gear. I have to deal with what I have. Yep. And we want to be fast. We want to have grip. So I have to drive the hell out of that car,
There was, I think I counted 9 clutch kicks total.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Maybe I missed a couple, but yeah.
Thank God I have advanced clutch. They're really amazing. They handle my clutch kicks really good. So
you should just make like a hypercut video of you clutch kicking between the next 2 rounds, and that's the whole commercial.
Yeah.
Like, if our clutches can deal with this, your problems are nothing. Like,
I'm so rough on my mechanic. I break stuff all the time, like rah 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 all the time. So.
Oh man, it's like I said though, it's working out though. So
it's working really, really good.
I've seen you're going real deep on the sim stuff too. Getting into some motion sims, which that's a big step up.
Yeah. Well, I have Advanced Sim Racing. They're here to help me out. They could have amazing sims, amazing stuff, and now I'm able to really practice the most I can.
Do you find that the added motion does that help with like the immersion into it, or
it definitely helps? Yeah. It's like a higher level already. It's better.
Okay. And even the small things of just like, okay, I can feel where the bumps are.
Bumps, for example, you feel the bumps and it doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot.
Yeah, but if you're trying to like feel out where the track is, coming off track, on track, things like that, it's probably pretty good. You can probably feel the clutch kicks and stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's nuts. So is this would be your first time running this track, or have you done any driving here previously?
First time driving this track. Okay. Never came here before. Well, I think every single FD event I'm not gonna have done.
That's a good point. Well, I wasn't sure if you'd driven and did any events here or anything like that.
Never drove here in Englishtown.
Jeez. Okay. It is an interesting. We've talked about it before, but like it's not overly complex. But because of that, it's difficult because there's no room for error.
To be honest, it's a pretty complicated track. Okay. You have a lot of bumps. You have it doesn't seem like much, but you have elevation, and everything, and it's not that simple of a track. But I mean, once you get it dialed in, once you get your line, I think it's a more simple track than, for example, Atlanta.
Right, where you've got multiple gear shifts, you've got a lot of changing around, everything else. So I don't know. I really, for me personally, like watching at this track is incredible. Like it's a stadium. You've got all the fans there. It's a different vibe. And seeing those bumps, seeing the changes in grip, like
the tandems are really, really great here too.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some of the, as long as the rain holds off.
Yeah.
Which,
I really hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah. Okay. Which is interesting because I mean, I kind of figured you might want some rain, might make it a little easier, but.
Well, a good other thing is I'm really good in the rain.
Yeah.
Usually, like.
It's a Canadian thing, man. I'm telling you.
The last event I did in the rain, I finished second. And I'm pretty used to the rain. I don't know how. It doesn't. I haven't been many rain events. I'm just. The team, my spotter is amazing. I have an amazing team. And they really dial the car in for the when it rains.
Yeah.
So
it's probably all the snow driving.
Probably, but probably.
Yeah,
it's like a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Do you even have your driver's license yet?
No, not yet. I have my scooter license. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, because you go for your G1. What? You're 16. Yeah, so you can go for your G1 at 16, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So 16 is with. Like a parent, someone older than 18.
I don't know if it's 17. The same in Quebec as it is in Ontario.
It's a bit different.
Is it? Okay.
Like 17, you're allowed to drive alone.
Right. Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. You get your scooter license, though. Yeah. You can get your snowmobile license at 13.
Not sure. I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Oh, man. So any like, do you guys change anything? I know you switched to nitrous outlet, it looks like, for this event. I don't know if you had them before, but...
I've been running them for 2 years. I love them. Okay. And now we got a... bit better. We got more advanced product, I would say. So
like a progressive kit or something.
Yeah. We got the really good stuff, and it's working amazingly. I couldn't do anything without that.
How much do you go through? Like, how many times are you switching tanks? Like, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about nitrous. I'm a big nitrous fan. I think there's a lot of people out there that are afraid, like, oh, it's expensive. I got to pay for this, pay for that. How many tanks have you gone through today, I guess?
I think we have gone like two bottles, so it's really not bad.
And it's cold, so like you're gonna kind of eat through them a little quicker.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not expensive. It's pretty cheap. It's like I think it's like $50 to fill up the bottle, something like that. Yeah,
10-pound bottles. Yeah.
It's not bad. And you see the car, like it takes it's way better than a pro charger, supercharger. I think because it takes out a lot of issues. You don't have a lot of issues with nitrous.
Yeah, you've got basically, as long as the solenoid's operating fine, that's it.
Well, we had a lot of issues because I think there was a bit of a problem with the wiring.
Okay.
So I think when the car caught fire, messed up the wiring.
Right.
So we
gotta put that part.
We've been having problems, but now I think we fixed it, and everything is going pretty good.
Good. Yeah. Good. I guess, like, is there anything that you can do to that stock chassis? I don't know, maybe it's a question for the mechanic, but like, is there anything you can do to that chassis the way it is right now just to get the most out of it?
I think right now the team really got the car dialed in. They work hard on it, and I think we're really pushing the car to the max right now.
Nice.
We could grip the car more up, but the engine is at the max right now. So we're going to leave it right there, leave it safe, and finish the event.
Okay, good. That's you to finish first you have to finish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's obviously a big part of it. And the consistency part of it is also massive. Like, I think we talked with Dimitri a little bit about it, where it's like, yeah, it may not be, some of the fastest runs, but you're finishing the runs, you're finishing them consistently. So like, I think with what you've got going on right now, is the car the fastest on the grid? No, it's not. It can't.
No, it can't.
It can't be, right?
Cars
like,
these guys are
800 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower. But the difference is that that car so well, you know what you're dealing with. So the consistency is there, and we saw it in practice. I think you had one or two small bobbles, but for the most part, what I saw, it was pretty much your qualifying run.
And my chase run too. I was able to get. I think there was one. I had like two chase, and I had one really good one.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I don't remember who it was with, but I was like door to door, like really, really close the whole time.
Yep.
And even if he had more power, I was able to switch back. A little bit earlier. I was able to get on the door, and I was almost rubbing my tires on the door, and we're really happy about the chase runs.
Yeah. It's just an adapting thing, and I think you, being at the age that you're at, you don't have any bad habits yet. There's a lot of guys that have been driving for a while that may have bad habits of over e-braking or left foot braking too much or using the throttle incorrectly or just flooring it. You're still learning.
Yeah, for sure. So. I haven't been driving for a long time, so yeah. I'm still learning, and I don't have, as you said, like a bad habit of always doing something wrong and keep doing it and not able to change it. If there's something wrong, I'm able to change it.
Yeah. You're adapting very quickly and getting to grasp with it. And I'm very interested to see what you're going to be like with all the new horsepower that's coming on. It's going to be really interesting. I don't have any doubt that you'll be able to adapt to it quickly.
Yeah.
Have you driven anything previously with the amount of horsepower you're about to experience?
No, never. And now I'm gonna have the G-Force dog box.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to try this thing out.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of cars with this, and I cannot wait to try it out. It's gonna be a really, really fun car to drive.
I think too, just even being able to switch rear ends will be so big for you.
Yeah, if ever if we would change the gear ratio, just get it a little bit more dialed in, I think it would help a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there'd be 6 clutch kicks instead of 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Just anything else.
Yeah, a little bit less.
Cool. Anything else major coming up with you, life-wise? Anything else?
No,
exams.
Basically, actually, I'm almost finished school.
Okay.
I have two exams left. So
okay, what do you got left?
I got math and science.
Math and science.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you're in grade 11?
Because down Canada is different. I would have Sec 3 down in Canada.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I think it's like grade
11.
Grade 11.
Because you have Sec 4, which would be grade 12, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
7th is first. 8th is no, actually, is it 9th?
Are you 9th grade?
I think I'm
Freshman?
9th. I think it is 9th.
Jeez. Wait, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm trying to remember grade 9 math now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope exams go well. Do you have to go back and do that right after this? Did you have to
exactly. I have to go back home, and then 2 days later, I think it's Tuesday, I have all my exams. So yeah, not cool.
Did you have to move anything around?
I had actually everyone did their final exams today and yesterday, so now I'm doing them coming back.
You should call them up. Be like, hey, what am I in for, guys? Give me some notes.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah,
Gonna help me out, get a better grade.
Cool, man. Well, good luck on the exams. Good luck tomorrow. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully everything holds up. So thanks again.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching the Outer Zone. Once again, my name is Jacob Gettins. Thank you to all the drivers that participated today. It was great to get that insight. Let me know what you guys think of these kind of episodes. You want to see more of them? You want to see less of them? Who do you want us to interview next? We greatly appreciate it. Thank you again for all the support. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing all the clips. We'll catch you guys next time.